There was a 20-minute clip in the original video that I don't know what to do with now, where it's me tier ranking Lord of the Rings characters by how much I'd want to have a girls' night with them. I don't think it was 20 minutes. I think it was more like 12 minutes long. And now I just have that. So I'm like, where do I stick that in a video? Or do I just not? And that was just a thing I did. Because I can't just release a video on its own called me ranking Lord of the Rings characters by how likely I am to have a girls' night with them. I feel like the natural next segment to this video is me tier ranking how likely I am to invite various characters from Lord of the Rings to a girls' night. The categories are pretty straightforward. I made sure there were only 4, so I went with yes, I will work around your schedule. I want to hang out with you so much. The next level beneath that is, yeah, I want to hang out with you, but you get like a day before invite. The next one being, I'm really bored and I want to hang out with somebody, but everyone else is busy, so I'll ask you. I have been that invite before, and I had the person say to my face, yeah, I asked all my other friends and they were busy, so I asked you. It doesn't feel good, but these are fictional characters. They don't know about these rankings. And lastly is please, please don't ask me about my weekend plans. I don't want to hang out with you. I also love holding my mic like it's something really gross I found on the ground, and I don't want it to get too close, and I don't want to commit to fully holding it. That's kind of my favorite posture to hold my mic in. I don't care how much it hurts my wrist. Let's start with Frodo. He's a divisive character. I don't know where to put him, so I'm just going to put him in the middle for now. I believe that Frodo's a good guy, and he's just undergoing a whole lot of suffering for most of the franchise. So I sympathize with that, but bruh is not gonna be a fun time. It's kind of the friend that trauma dumps on you when you hang out, and they genuinely have a lot of trauma, but sometimes you just want to chill. And for that reason, yeah, I think he's staying here. Literally nobody I know is free. That's the invite. Next we have Samwise. I think he would be a fun time. I'm going to put him with Bud. You free tonight? Because he's fun. We're going to have some good food. We're going to chill. You know he knows how to knit. We're going to be crafting. It's going to be a good time. We might even do a puzzle. Next we have Mary. Mary's a good time. Mary's a great time. You're going to have fun, guaranteed. The thing is, you might get in trouble. You might get up to some shenanigans, and he might want to do some things that I'm a little uncomfortable doing because I'm a bit of a goody two-shoes. And so I definitely want to hang out with him, but I'm not rearranging my schedule for this man. He's going to get me in trouble. I'm instantly putting Pippin in the same category. In fact, I should have just put their pictures together because I'm not hanging out with them one-on-one. They come as a pair. Although maybe they'd be a little less chaotic when you separate them. They were in Lord of the Rings. I know when I hang out with these guys that we're fully going to be eating snacks, like the munchies to the extreme. There are going to be so many snacks. They're not going to bat an eye or judge when I put the pizza rolls in the oven. They're going to be like, I get it. I also want pizza rolls. And we're going to eat leftover Halloween candy, and it's going to be fantastic. They're just also the guys when you're like, yeah, I'm kind of ready to end the night. They're going to be like, no. And they're going to pressure you to keep hanging out. And I'll be like, this is my apartment, so please leave. And they're going to be like, no, they were still having fun. And you're going to have to like kick them out, you know? And they're not going to get the hint when you're just ready to go to sleep. So they get butter, you freeze tonight. Next up, we have just the Ents in general. I feel like I could have a good time with the Ents. And I respect them as characters. Don't get me wrong. They're one of my favorite characters in the entire movie franchise. But I feel like they'd also judge me, and they'd openly judge me to my face, and I can't handle criticism that well. Next up, we have Bilbo Baggins. He's gonna get a "But are you free tonight?" because I feel like we'd have a really great time. You know, there'd be a fantastic dinner. It would be like home cooked and they would put effort into it. They would bring something, I would bring something. You have your social contract on lock. Good for you people over 30 that just want to hang out with your friend until 10 p.m. and have them leave. Maybe 9 p.m. if you're feeling a little like you need to get up early the next day. He's your guy. You know what you're getting when you're hanging out with a Bilbo Baggins. But he can also be fun. He can have a good time. He wouldn't have joined the Dwarven Company in The Hobbit if he couldn't have a good time. Aragorn. I don't want to hang out with him. I really don't. I feel like the only woman I know, scratch that, I feel like the only woman in the world. Please speak up if you join me in these feelings. I'm not attracted to this guy. I've seen the memes where he like opens the door and his hair's all wet and it's like a thing. Not my type. And I also don't think I'd want to be friends with him. He doesn't seem like that much fun. I don't know if I ever saw him have fun in the movies. Granted, I did not read the books. I have read The Hobbit multiple times, but I defiantly won't read Lord of the Rings books. I've seen the movies, extended editions, about a dozen times. I don't think we'd be friends. We just don't vibe. We don't have any of the same interests. Like, he's fine. He seems very nice, gallant, has a really nice, strong moral compass. But I'm gonna be bored. Radagast the Brown. I'm scheduling around this man because you know what? If you're hanging out with Radagast, you're going to be hanging out with some really adorable animals, some really adorable insects. I'm down to hang out with the stick bug. That's cool. I would be honored to be pulled by his Rustiville rabbits through the prairies and forests. That would be fantastic. You're just going to get a really beautiful time out in nature. You're going to get a little hike in and you're really going to connect with the flora and fauna. And it's the person that's going to stand there and just appreciate how beautiful it is when the lights come through the leaves at a certain angle. And he's just a little sweetheart. Gimli. I'm scheduling around him. He's going to be a great time. We are going to eat, drink, and be merry. We're going to have a fantastic time. There's going to be like music playing, or we're going to watch a really funny comedy movie and talk through the entire thing. He's going to hang out with me and my husband. We're going to have a great time. Group of 3. He will third wheel. No problem. I'm looking at this ranking right now, and so far, visually, I feel like it's really showing what kind of person is my type versus what kind of person is not at all my type. Faramir. I would say if we're not close, we're not going to be having a very great time. Seems like he would be more shy, subdued. He would kind of join the conversation a little bit, but would maintain being pretty polite and wouldn't get too deep and vulnerable, and he wouldn't engage a lot in the conversation. But if you got to be really close friends with him, he really would. And so I would say it's kind of a "but are you free tonight?" Because it's not an effortless hangout. Like, you're gonna need to be on a little bit mentally and conversationally. He's not gonna carry the conversation. He's not gonna make all the plans for you, but he will be very respectful. And if you come up with a plan together, he will follow through with it the way that it was planned out and will really respect your time. He's gonna show up on time. And it's just gonna be a nice, relaxing, chill day. Here we have the entire Dwarven Company from The Hobbit. They are, of course, going to the "yes, I will work around your schedule" tier. Why wouldn't they? They're going to be a fantastic time. And better than that, you can just invite them over, no plan, and they will make it fun. You don't have to put too much effort in. You don't have to overthink it. They are going to make it a good time. You're going to have some fantastic food. There will be so much eating and snacking, and it's going to be the kind of night that is just unbelievably fun the entire time. But I would have some underlying anxieties about, like, oh my gosh, are they damaging my furniture? Are they going a little bit too far? Do I need to rein them in a bit? It seems a bit out of control. And then they leave at the end of the night and you look around your apartment and you're like, okay, this is almost cleaner than I left it. How did that happen? I used to be able to name all the dwarves in the Dwarven Company from memory, and I'm kind of wondering if I could remember them. Biffer Bofer Bomber, Dory Nori Ori, Feely Keely, Dwallin Ballin, Owen Glowin, Thorin. Yes. They're all invited. Okay, Legolas, you're not invited. You're not invited at all. He's the guy. He's the guy that shows up to your friend's hangout with the most complicated board game you've ever seen with a 30-page rule book. And he's like, oh, I promise, guys, it's really easy once you learn. But they actually get kind of annoyed when you zone out on page 10 of them explaining the rules. And they are very unhappy that you are not as into the game as they are. I think he could be fun, just not for me and not for the kind of friend hangout that I am looking for. Gandalf, specifically Gandalf the Grey. Yeah, he gets the last minute friend invite. Because here's the thing, he can absolutely have fun. He can totally have fun, but he's gonna dominate the evening. It's just gonna turn into the Gandalf show of, look at my fireworks, aren't I so cool? Everyone's so excited that Gandalf showed up. And I am a middle child, and I don't think I could handle all that attention instantly going to one person for the entire night. I need the attention more evenly spread amongst everyone present. And I just feel like Gandalf, he would just suck out a lot of the attention. Maybe not, though. People seem to like him, and he was a little more backed off when the dwarves came over, but he also was kind of in mission mode, not party mode necessarily. I think if we saw him in party mode in that scenario, he'd be a little bit more him. But at the end of the day, he is still fun. I think my main issue would be I would just be jealous of how much everybody likes Gandalf, and they're all so excited that he's there, and no one cheers when you walk into a room or when I walk into a room, but they cheer when Gandalf walks in. Oh, it's the wizard. He's got magic. So cool. Well, I have bread. Gandalf, come on. Eowyn, this might be a little bit of a surprise, but I feel like if we were close, I would work around her schedule to hang out as a friend. I feel like she would just be such a good friend. Someone who is very normal, has their flaws, has interesting stories, lets you be actively involved in the conversation, and is genuinely interested in you as much as you are in her. I think at times she could be a little bit of the crisis friend that has a lot going on and you'd need to offer up a lot of emotional support, but she would also reciprocate that fully onto you. She also seems like the type that is crafty. I see this woman knowing how to crochet. I see her knowing how to knit. She would embroider. You would have a friend's craft night. You would make dinner together, get some dessert, drink your tea, put on a fun rom-com from the 90s, and she would be such a good time. She's also the friend that would be like, girl, you got to go to my kickboxing class with me next week. It's so fun. And I'd be like, hell yeah. And she would make it seem less scary and be very supportive and empowering as a friend. So I'm putting her pretty high up on the list. Nope, I think I'm going to leave it as is. This looks pretty legit to me.